So we have some treats for you today. We finally have a framework for the big, huge stimulus bill. We're gonna do a full breakdown of the bill and the final negotiated top dollar amount of 1.75 trillion. There have definitely been a lot of changes that you need to hear about concerning Medicare, prescription drug prices, the child tax credit, Social Security, and more stimulus money for singles and families. And we have really good news about the new Social Security reform bill that would raise the minimum monthly payout to recipients to $1,341 per month, no matter how much you paid in to Social Security. But this is gaining widespread support among the representatives, so it's looking really good. And we have Bernie Sanders, who's not happy about what's going on with this new $1 trillion bill, and he's actually telling the House reps to hold off on voting on the bipartisan infrastructure bill, and they are on board to vote no if it is coming to the floor. And if you could do me a huge favor and smash that like button for me and the YouTube algorithm, it really helps the channel so much, and it costs you absolutely nothing. For real. So please, if you can, do that. And please, if anyone asks you for personal info or to contact them on WhatsApp or by text, it's not me, it's fake, please don't do it. So we officially have the framework for the entire $1 trillion bill. This has been a long ride, but this bill is primarily focused on the following: families, addressing climate change, expanding access to healthcare, lowering costs for the middle class in terms of taxes, and there's a lot to do with this bill, and a lot of people are going to be affected by getting more money in their pockets. So please watch, because I'm going to go over all the sections and you don't want to miss out on any important information. So first is money for children and caregiving. We've got free and universal preschool for all 3 and 4-year-olds. This would be the biggest expansion of the public education system in 100 years, according to the White House. And it would be funded for the next 6 years. It would expand access to high quality and affordable childcare to about 20 million children per year, which would also be funded for the next 6 years. Next, it would permanently improve Medicaid coverage for home care services for seniors and people with disabilities. This would be the biggest change to home health care in over 40 years. And lastly, it would expand the enhanced child tax credit, the one that parents have been receiving those monthly checks on that came from the American Rescue Plan, that's provided more than 35 million households up to $3,600 per child, or in essence $300 per month in tax cuts per child. So they're going to extend that. And next is combating the climate change. So the largest portion of the framework of this bill is focusing on climate, and this would include the largest legislative investment in combating climate change in U.S. history. So the framework Biden is set to lay out will put the U.S. on track to meet Biden's Paris Agreement goal, which is a 50 to 52% reduction in greenhouse gas emissions below 2005 levels by the end of 2030. Next, there would be $320 billion for clean energy tax credits. This includes 10-year expanded tax credits for utility scale and residential clean energy transmission and storage, clean passenger and commercial vehicles, and clean energy manufacturing. They would also put in $105 billion to address extreme weather, pollution in communities, and the creation of a civilian climate corps to conserve public lands and bolster community resilience. Next, it would be $110 billion in investments and incentives for clean energy technology, manufacturing, and supply chains, with another $20 billion to provide incentives for the government to purchase next generation technologies, including clean construction materials. So the next section we're going into is lowering healthcare costs. This would lower premiums for 9 million Americans who buy insurance through the Affordable Care Act. It would close the Medicaid coverage gap and deliver health care coverage through the Affordable Care Act premium tax credits to certain uninsured Americans. Next, it would expand Medicare coverage to include hearing services. Now, I know that they talked about including dental and vision as well, but those actually didn't get included in the bill. But what didn't get included was that Kirsten Sinema struck a deal with Biden on lowering prescription drug prices to allow for cheaper, more affordable prescriptions for everyone. Next, there would be tax credits and lowering costs for middle class. We have $150 billion to expand access to affordable housing. The plan would allow the construction, rehabilitation, and improvement of more than 1 million affordable homes. Next, it would extend the expanded earned income tax credit for 17 million low-wage workers. So basically, you would be getting a $964 check through the earned income tax credit that would come through whenever you filed your taxes. Next, they would increase the maximum Pell Grant by $550 for more than 5 million students enrolled in public and private colleges as well as nonprofit colleges, and this would also expand access to Dreamers. Next, which I love this one here, it would expand free school meals to 8.7 million children during the school year as well as provide $65 per child per month benefit to families. So this would essentially affect 29 million kids to make sure that they have food throughout the summer. Next, we got tax reforms for the rich and corporations. So the framework will impose a 15% minimum tax on profits of corporations that report more than $1 billion in profits to shareholders. It also includes a 1% surcharge on corporate stock buybacks. The plan would adopt a 15% country by country minimum tax on foreign profits of U.S. corporations. It would impose a new surtax on the income of multimillionaires and billionaires. There would be a 5% rate above income of 10 million and an additional 3% surtax on any income above 25 million. So the White House has repeatedly said that anybody making less than $400,000 per year will not see any tax increases. Next, they want to hire IRS enforcement agents who are trained to pursue wealthy evaders, and it would update IRS's technologies. So that's all pertaining to the framework. I mean, this bill started out at $6 trillion with Bernie Sanders, then it was brought down to $3.5 trillion, and it has actually come down to $1.75 trillion. So since we finally have the full breakdown, you should get you 2 free stocks with Webull or Robinhood by using my links down in the description of this video. These stocks could be worth hundreds of dollars. It's free. Let me know which free stocks you get in the comment section. But with that, they were going to try and go ahead and also pass today the bipartisan infrastructure bill. But progressives are putting a hard no on that until this new reconciliation bill that we just talked about gets passed. And not only that, Bernie Sanders is backing them and saying that they shouldn't vote for this to make sure that they get the other bill passed first. So progressives have even gone as far as to say that they'll block any vote that comes to the floor pertaining to the bipartisan bill. So we finally have the framework along with more bills coming along to make some amazing changes to programs that we already have in place. So one of the most impactful ones that they're trying to bring forth is the Social Security 2100 Act bill. So this would overhaul the Social Security program and bring some much needed changes to that bill. So please check out my last video for a full breakdown of that bill to see what changes they are working on to bring to Social Security. But to say one of the biggest changes that is the bill is going to have a minimum paid out to individuals that is 25% above the federal poverty line. So no matter how much you paid into Social Security, the minimum that you would be getting each month would be $1,341. And this would take care of a lot of low-income workers and make sure that when people are retiring, they're not retiring into poverty. This bill is gaining a lot of support and is looking to be passed in the next month along with the huge reconciliation bill as well as the bipartisan bill that we just talked about. And the reason being is that the program could lose a huge portion of the funding. And we need to act now so that people can still continue to receive the money that they need to support themselves. So another big question that everybody has is stimulus checks. So concerning stimulus checks, there's not any actual stimulus check payments in this framework. But Congress has worked to add built-in tax credits to put more money into Americans' pockets throughout the year versus in a single payout through a form of a stimulus check. But you never know. Things happen. Bills change, bills are amended. So until it gets passed, things can still be added like a stimulus check, which there's a big group that's petitioning for our friends on Social Security to get one more $1,400 stimulus check. So we're gonna be on the lookout for that and we'll update you if any changes come to that. But please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all stimulus and economic news that affects you. and learn how to build some wealth and hear the real news. If you have any questions, comments, just put them down in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. I appreciate every single one of you. This is Joe with True Life Investing. Until next time.